welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree. I forgot to get my visual aids. I wanted to talk about the new concealers that I bought and have been using, and I'm gonna put them all on my face because I thought, why not just apply all of them? So I have the new one from Revlon, the Flex Wear Full Cover Concealer. I also have the Rimmel Multitasker. I have the NYX Pro Fix Color Correcting Concealer, and then I also bought the L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. So I'm gonna put all of these on my face, talk about them, texture, wear time, all that kind of stuff. So all three of these, all these concealers, they all had the same idea. They all are in, I feel like, identical packaging, just different colors. They all have very, very similar wands and everything. So I'm gonna start by putting on actually the NYX Pro Fix Stick. So I have this in the shade Pink. I originally picked out the shade Alabaster. It's, I think, the lightest shade in the concealer section. So they have the Pro Fix Stick with regular stick concealers, and they also put out some color correctors. I think Alabaster was the lightest in the regular concealers. I did return it and I picked out this one because I thought I'll try it as a color corrector. Color correcting is not my favorite thing because I have never found one that I really, really love and feel like doesn't add too much of a layer under my eyes. Then I have to cover up with concealer and it becomes a whole heavy, creasy thing. But this has turned out to be really, really good. And I'm kind of shocked. I wasn't expecting to love this so much because when I put this on straight from the stick onto my under eye, it blends like crap. I don't know if it's just maybe how thick this is, or I really don't know what it is. So with this, I do put it on my fingertip, warm it up, and then put it on, which I will do today. It's a very, very creamy formula. Like, it's really easy to glide under the eyes. It's not stiff at all. But I feel like it benefits a little from a little warming up on the fingertips and then putting on a really thin layer this way. It blends very, very nicely and easily. But when I go straight from the stick, I don't know what it is, it like sticks everywhere and makes a big mess. So I like to put the majority right here on the darkest part and like here on the inner, I don't know what this piece is called, like on the inner part of your eye and the side of your nose. Most of it right here, and then whatever's left I kind of just blend out. And I don't know what it is about this shade that works so well with the shade of my under eyes, like the darkness. It works so good. It's such a thin, thin layer. And there are so many times when I put this on, I finish the rest of my makeup and I actually forget to put concealer on because this works so well at kind of counteracting the darkness. It's just so nice. But I do think it only works for me if I warm it up between my fingers and do a really thin layer and blend it in only with my fingertips. I feel like it really needs to be warmed up like that. Although it is very creamy, I don't know what it is about putting it on directly from the stick. It does not blend for nothing. But I will put concealer on top of this, but I love the perfect amount of like canceling it does on my under eyes, and it doesn't look pink. It doesn't look pink. It doesn't look like I have to like cover it up with concealer, although I always do just out of habit, but it adds the nicest little bit of extra coverage to my under eye area, and I love it. I really look forward to using this every day. Just something different and a color corrector that actually freaking works for me and for what I want. And it's so thin, I can't believe it. Okay, let's move on to the L'Oreal True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. This has 1.5% hyaluronic acid and caffeine. I had a suspicion that this was just a repackaging of their eye cream in a concealer that they did discontinue. And from what I can tell, it's very, very similar. I don't have the other one anymore, so I can't compare, but I feel like it's exactly the same. I don't remember if that one had a scent to it or not, but this one, it smells very, very strongly of alcohol. I cannot use this under my eyes because it makes my eyes water so badly. I don't know. Let me double check the ingredients. So the first 4 ingredients: water, isododecane, dimethicone, and then denatured alcohol. So the 4th ingredient is denatured alcohol. I find that is that the alcohol that helps things dry really quickly, like in sunscreen and stuff? I don't know. But just a heads up, if you try to stay away from that kind of stuff, the alcohol is very high on the ingredient list and it does irritate my eyes like nobody's business. The applicator wand is so cool and different. It looks just like a little flat iron or a little shoe. It's so nice to put this on because it's just so flat and smooth, and it's just nice to paint it on your face. But even just having it here, I can smell the alcohol and it's already irritating my eyes. So just a heads up there. I'm just gonna put this on right here because I have 2 other concealers to put on. But this is nice. It blends really nicely. It's, I want to say, a light coverage. Maybe you could build it up to medium. But I have used this many times as my only base product, and I think it's very, very pretty. I don't know if I said the shade I have. I have shade N3 Light Medium. I don't think this looks like a light medium color, but that's the shade it came out to be. It covers really nicely, it looks really pretty on the skin, and like I said, I wear this all the time just as all on my face, except under the eyes. And it does say it contains caffeine. I know caffeine a lot of the time is meant to be under the eyes to kind of depuff, but that alcohol content is just so high, I cannot use this under my eyes. It irritates like crazy. So just a heads up, really, really pretty on the face, but burns the crap out of my eyes. So let's move on to the Rimmel, the Multitasker Concealer. I have this in the shade Light Honey 060. I was really excited to see this. I need something on my lips. A little e.l.f. Reviver lip oil stuff. I love this. So I was really excited about this because I haven't seen a concealer from Rimmel in a long time. They have the one concealer, I couldn't even tell you what it's called now. I've never even been interested in trying it, to be honest. It just kind of, I don't know, just doesn't interest me. But when they came out with this, I was like all about it. Now all they need to do is come back with their foundation with the red lid on it, then everything will be okay. Anyway, it's called the Multitasker. Let me see the claims on here again. Conceals, brightens, and covers up to 24-hour wear and hydration. That's kind of it. You know, multitasker means do whatever you want with it. And I regularly use concealer as just a one and done thing. I just kind of swipe it all over my face. And you know, somebody left me a comment the other day about using the dropper on my face from a foundation. The Wet n Wild one, actually. I opened up this and I just wiped the dropper all over my face. And it got me thinking, what's the difference between putting the dropper on my face and putting it back in and using this all over my face and putting it back in? Why doesn't anybody ever say that that's ew, but whenever you touch the dropper on your face, it's ew? I have no idea. Anyway, I don't know why that popped into my head. This one just has your traditional, I mean now it's a traditional giant applicator, as Emily Noel always calls it, a buck foot, because it's a humongous thing. A really nice amount of concealer comes out on the wand, and I'm just gonna put this one on my forehead because I still have that Revlon one to put on. This one I do think has a lot more coverage than the one from L'Oreal. I do like this one a little more than the L'Oreal one. It's really pretty on the entire face. I mean, it's a little darker, as you can see. I might have to like carry this one down to get it to blend a little nicer so that it looks a little more cohesive, not like I put 3 separate concealers on my face. But this one has a really nice, pretty, very natural finish, nothing too glowy, nothing too matte. I also have used this one completely on my whole face and I really, really like it. I actually like this one a little more than the one from L'Oreal. I feel like it has a little more coverage, looks a little tiny bit nicer, although the L'Oreal is still really, really pretty. But when I use these interchangeably, I honestly can't even tell the difference. I think they're both so similar. The L'Oreal, dang, like even just opening it, I could smell how much alcohol is in there. The one from Rimmel has a little tiny bit of a thicker texture. Not thick where it's hard to blend or anything. It's just a little bit more body to it, I guess. As L'Oreal is a little bit more on the serum side, but still both very, very pretty on the skin. Again, easy to use as one and done. And lastly, the Revlon Color Stay Full Cover Flex Wear Concealer. I have this one in the shade 015 Light. It's funny how this one's light medium and I had to get this one in light. I had a little issue with the shades, picking out the shades. I don't know, I did exchange this once or twice to get a correct shade, but I think this one works pretty good for me. Again, this one here, big giant applicator. Again, a really generous amount of concealer comes out on here. I've also used this one all over my face as well as like a one and done thing. And since it's called Flex Wear, I did kind of expect it to move with my skin, not to sink into any lines. And I haven't really found that to be the issue with any of these. None of them really sink into any lines or get weird or anything. This one, I think of all three, has the thickest texture. Again, nothing super like where you're gonna have to like spread it across your face all crazy, but I know it's kind of weird to put all these different concealers on. I'm gonna put this one on the under eyes too. Ooh, that's a little much. But this one blends really, really nicely too. This is the only one that does claim to be full coverage, and I think you easily could get that with this just as a concealer. I have used this a lot in a lighter capacity. I don't usually put it on as like a full wear thing, like a full coverage thing, but it does look really, really pretty as a full coverage. It doesn't look like I have a full coverage concealer on. It still looks very skin-like and really nice. And I was not expecting that from this, to be honest, because it has a thicker texture to it, but it blends really, really nicely. This is definitely the best concealer I've ever tried from Revlon, for sure. And this one I'm just gonna kind of take all over the face here. Try to make everything look cohesive and not like I put on 3 separate coverage products. And of the 3 concealers, this is the one I like the best on the under eye. Again, L'Oreal burns the crap out of them, so I don't even use it. And the Rimmel one looks good, but it does crease on my under eyes. It does sink into my lines. I have to keep like patting it and, you know, doing that kind of thing to get it out of the lines there. And I don't notice the Revlon one do that whatsoever. I haven't tried the Tarte tape shape, what is it? That concealer, Shape Tape. I haven't tried that one in a very long time, but my recollection of it was that I did not like it whatsoever. So I don't know how any of these compare to that concealer, and just in case you're wondering, I know packaging is very similar. I feel like that's the vibe they're going with, especially with the applicators and everything. But I don't have a comparison because I haven't used it in a very long time and I didn't really like it when I did use it. But I really, really like the Revlon one under the eyes a lot. I think it looks great, doesn't sink into lines or anything like that, and it wears all day really nice. So that is my face with all of the concealers on. Let me throw on some eyebrows and finish up here, and then we'll do a little wrap up on my final thoughts. Okay, so I threw on some mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Panorama. I like this a lot so far, but I want to use it a little bit more before I talk about it in a video. Threw on some bronzer and this blush from e.l.f. This is the Camo Liquid Blush in the shade Peach Perfect. I know a lot of people are saying this is like Rare Beauty, and they also say really pigmented on the packaging, but I put this on generously and this is the color that I get. I love it. I can't believe how much I love this. I want to get all the colors. I want to get all the colors. Anyway, that's what I threw on my face, but let's round up my thoughts on the concealers. The pink one from NYX, I really like this. It's just something nice and different. It's thin, it has a nice pigment, and it works perfectly for the darkness that I have. Like, this is the perfect amount of pink for me. Definitely warm it up on the fingers though if you're having an issue blending it on your under eyes. Okay, and then final thoughts on the concealers. The fullest coverage one, definitely the Revlon. It also has the thickest texture, but it's still very blendable. I can put this on my whole face and be able to go back and blend and not have like it drying down and then I'm like tugging and tugging at it. Also my favorite one for the under eyes. Wears all day long, looks good on the skin, very high coverage though, so just keep that in mind. The Rimmel, the multitasker, this one I feel like looks really natural on the skin, has nice coverage. I don't love it for the under eyes, is like I said, it just kind of creases. I don't know, it doesn't really set a lot. I do like to put this one on and put a little powder on top. I feel like it just has a really nice dewy finish to it. Again, another one I love putting all over the skin. I like this one a lot. And then the L'Oreal, although I do like this one on the face, it looks very pretty. It's very natural, very skin-like. You could tell there's some skincare in there, like some serum-y qualities to it. But the alcohol content is just too high for me and it really irritates my eyes. Like even just putting it on where I did, I could feel the fumes making their way into my eyes. Like forget even putting it around my eye area. I don't love it for the under eyes anyway. I think it's just a little bit too, I don't know what it is, like a little too skincare heavy, and I feel like the coverage kind of disappears as I blend it out. Does that make any sense? It's kind of weird. Also does crease on the under eyes as well. So those are my thoughts on the concealers I have bought and have been trying. Let me know what you think. Have you tried any of these? Are you interested in them? I would love to know your thoughts as well. And of course, if your thoughts differ from mine, I would love to know that too, because we all have our own experiences and our different skin types and our preferences and all that kind of stuff. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss my next one, and I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.